We're speaking with Gary Scarano from Voice of the Kids and Dr. Surajit Khanna of Khanna for Kids. Thank you very much. Tomorrow is the 4th of July, Independence Day, and Dr. Khanna wanted to come on the show and give presentation. Dr. Khanna is champion of Voice of the Kids. He's also at Khanna for Kids, Khanna, F-O-R, kids.com. He's a child safety advocate, and he has spoken at many different places. He's in demand, and we have him here today. We're excited. Dr. Surajit Khanna, thank you.
Hey, thank you very much, Gary. Thank you, Pastor Willie, and thank you all the audience of this show. Those who are listening, this is a very important day. I'm glad that this message, which I'm about to give, this is to the children and the adults, okay? And I'm not saying that this message is coming from God directly, but I'm trying to make sure that we do celebrate this 4th of July in a very spectacular way, because this is a history that during the national pandemic, we are stepping in for celebrating the Independence Day of United States of America. So I was given an opportunity to pass on this message to all my fellow brothers and sisters, pastors, every citizens of United States. Please, let's work together and make this 4th of July a very successful and memorable day. I want to provide some background to the national holiday called Independence Day, known simply as 4th of July. I want to do this by discussing three most important documents that every child in this country should be familiar with. Number one, the Mayflower Compact. Number two, the Declaration of Independence. And number three, that is the Constitution. I'm going to say this. Not many kids are familiar with the Mayflower Compact. So I'm going to give you a little background on this. I would like to take you back 1620 with the settlers from England, adults or children who were seeking religious freedom. They arrived to what was to become the United States of America. They decided on the Mayflower before they left the ship to write a document and form a government. What is extraordinary about this Mayflower document is that it was the first time in human recorded history that a group of people formed a government that would be ruled by the people, not by a dictator or a council or any group. This Mayflower Compact explicitly expressed the importance of self-government, established the freedom of religion, created the first judiciary on the continent, established the right to vote. Mr. Robert Winthrop said, "Men, in a word, must necessarily be controlled either by a power within them or by a power without them. The more people that self-govern themselves, the less is the need of government to force people to obey the established laws. It eliminates the need for a police state." Kids, please understand this. We are in a government where we are not to be forced to obey the law, but this is for our benefit. We need to follow the law. This was the framework that greatly influenced the Declaration of Independence. But what did the Declaration establish? By the time we finish elementary school, most children can tell you who wrote the Declaration of Independence, but they don't know why it is so significant. The Declaration tells the colonists they were entitled to things that England did not believe, that everybody was created equal, that they have the right to be happy or that they had the right to be for religious freedom. We Americans have the right to pursue happiness and to raise our children in peace. This is what made our country so strong. The Declaration also plays a significant role in our world today. It is because of the words in that document that today women are now treated the same as men, and that all races are treated equally by law. Without those words in the Declaration, the civil rights that have been passed might never have come to light. All credit goes to Dr. Martin Luther King for this. Yes, it took time, but it was the Declaration that spurred Americans to risk their lives and fight for the freedom of the slaves and to grant women the right to vote. That is why the Declaration of Independence is so significant to everyone. Most children have not heard the most important thing of the Declaration that is mentioned in the second paragraph, which is, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers for the consent of the governed. The Declaration of the Independence launched this country into revolutionary war when overlaid to the writing of the Constitution. So now comes the third document, that is the Constitution, where slavery was deemed to be unjust. When the righteous rule, the people rejoice. When the wicked rule, the people groan. That's why the Constitution places the burden on the people to elect people who will not oppress them. Now this country, we know, that is going through the midst of a micro-civil war, that I pray to the Almighty that it does not escalate. Children become afraid when they see the violence in the news, and many are afraid of the police. We all must acknowledge that Black lives matter. The Black men and women are endowed by the Creator with the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And that is what makes America great. We also acknowledge, however, that there are inherent prejudices and injustices in today's system. But it does not justify the general unrest and lawlessness we are experiencing. We must rejoice that this country allows us to protest, and that protesters are not rounded up like they are in the other countries. But we must understand that there are powers at play that want to erase our form of government and replace it in the anarchy, which is the absence of any known government. We can learn lessons from most recently that's happened in Venezuela. What they did, first, they toned down the statues, then renamed the streets, then instituted re-education in their schools by changing history and providing a false narrative of the past to the children. They then restricted certain books and movies and so on. This is the elimination of free speech. The very first amendment to the Constitution of the United States. We must see there are forces are at work to rewrite history, to restrict free speech, to limit what can be said in social media. That is not freedom. This is not independence. This is not free speech. Please read the Declaration of Independence to your children and help them to leave the words quoted above. That you have been granted freedom to be independent within this form of government and protest peacefully. This document did not define independence in terms of a person or group of people. To redefine that is what independence means to them. We must leave a legacy for the children today, so this powerful and just country will bring up the next proud and just generation. Thank you very much. God bless and happy birthday, United States of America. Black Lives Matters.
Please like, share, and subscribe to our videos.